Hey, it's Kevin DeWitt here. Welcome to another tip, trick, or technique session. In this session, we're going to talk about fixing timing issues. So firstly, if you're new to my channel and new to my videos and you like what you see, please click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos. So fixing timing issues. Okay, this is something that I usually prefer to do, when you're recording. Obviously, I would like there to be no timing issues in the recording in the first place. I'd prefer that everybody played properly, was on the beat, played with a click track, etc. But there's times that, you might have got the perfect take and just fluffed one note, something or other, just one timing issue, or you may be working with clients that maybe just aren't as professional as some other ones. And, you don't want to just be nasty and say, hey, go and re-record it. There might be some things that you can do yourself. And that's what I'm talking about here. So where I'm usually looking for it is not editing an entire song in start to finish. It's finding key moments where there's unified hits, stops, or dramatic things that happen that it really is critical that everything is on time and on the beat and just hits exactly right. They're the points that I'm going to look for. If I get to a point in a song where, and this is where you need to watch out, that you end up going down this rabbit hole of editing everything and you're spending hours and hours and hours of editing, that may be the time that you step back and say, I think it should be re-recorded, guys. You need to work on this. It'll be so much better if you just have another go, practice on time and that sort of stuff. But if we're just talking about a few moments that just missed, a crucial moment, then that's what I'm talking about here. And it's something that we can do in the mix. Obviously, you need to judge it on the song, on the artist. Some artists don't like that. Some artists prefer their songs to be fluid and not time-based. They like the inconsistencies of their song. That's what they're going for. They're going for a raw, live sort of, style. That could be their style. So don't do it on everything, but just look for certain things where you think, it really would help if something was on time, or, you think that the artist wanted it to be on time, but just couldn't get it. So let's just get into it. I'll show you how I do it on my songs when I need to. So we've got a song here and I've sort of started out, and this is a perfect example of, we have a set of drums that are sampled. They're from Toontrack Superior, using, say, the inbuilt MIDI files. So, they're created by professionals. They are on beat. They're done to a click track. Perfect, right? And then the rest of the instrumentation has been recorded to go along with the drums. But as I said, the artist has a bit of a feel. They go with their own flow to a point, and sometimes it doesn't quite well. The other possibility that can happen with this is that the drums could have been modified or added after the recording of the instruments. And what that can also have is that when you go and change your drums, then obviously they don't match anymore and they don't perfectly line up. So let's have a listen to this. I've just got it set with some drums, bass, and a piano. Okay, so there's a few timing issues in this, and I just want to show you some techniques, or show you the technique that I would use to fix some of these up. Okay, so this is a perfect example of talking about, okay, we could sit here and we could fine tune every single chord, every single note that's played on that piano, but that's not what I'm looking for here. I want to leave some feel in the song, but you'll see these parts here these little stabs that are playing in unison with the drums and the bass. These sound sloppy when they're not hit in the right time. So I would like to tighten those up. So let me just play that little bit again so you can hear where some of them are wrong. So you can even visually see it here. We've got on the beat, and these are a little bit rushed. And the simple approach that I have to doing this is I just zoom in. Okay, so I want to, and what we can do is we can actually open up the bass track. So if we drag this up and get it closer. Okay, so now we can visually see our bass hits, and you could do this to your drums. If you want to lock to the drums, then obviously drag your keys track up here close to your drums so you can see where the hits are. All right, but I'm going to do it with the bass because they're playing the same sort of notes. Right, so you can see the bass is playing here and here, and the keys are playing here. So the easy fix and the manual way to fix this is we're going to chop that there, or cut it there, and I'm going to also cut it there. Just going to bring that back in so we don't go over that other note, and I'm going to drag it. And if we wanted to, we could drag that over there as well. So instantly I have dragged that over there, but you can see we're still not quite right because these seem to longer. So if we listen now. Okay, so this note now is playing on the beat of the bass, but this one is not. So this is where it gets a little bit trickier because now I'm going to go in a bit tighter. We're sort of blending over notes now. Okay, so that sounded good. But let's go on solo, because we just want to make sure that these two here, we aren't getting any clicks or pops or anything like that in that spot. So I'm just going to tidy this up by bringing that back. Let's get that in there. And I'm just going to overlap them a tiny bit. And then just do a little bit of a crossfade there. And let's have a listen in solo. Okay, so there's no clicks, no pops. So that's good. So now if we take it out of solo and have another listen. That's good. So I always like to do fades when my tracks are, just to avoid any chance of any clicks. There's no audio in that section, but we just want to be sure of that. Now again, we're going to have the same problem here. Okay, exactly the same thing that's happening. So again, I'm going to cut that. And we're just going to cut that there. Speed up the process, put a bit of a fade there. Just bring that back a bit. All right, so we know what's going to happen here. Okay, that's not lining up because of the way I brought that in. Okay, so I'll just cut that there. I'll just bring it back too far first, and then we'll line that up. Go a little bit over, select the two, bit of a crossfade. Make sure we got a fade on the back end of both. Let's just bring that. Okay, that should be fine. So let's see what that does. Nice. So you can hear here again, we've got this note here is a little bit rushed. So again, I'm going to chop that. This one is pretty much on track. So I'm gonna cut it there. And we're going to do that. I was just going to bring that there for the sake of it, but we could just put a fade in. And I can just drag that over. Actually, I'm just going to bring that back a bit. I just don't want the crossfade to happen over the top of that note. All right. Okay, so we've still got some little issues in this spot here. This one here is not quite playing out as well. But you can also see the bass is not always hitting on the beat. So there's a bit of variance in this. We need to be a bit tolerant of that. Like I said, we're not necessarily looking for a robotic here, but we want some of these bigger notes to just sound a bit sort of tighter. And we always make sure we tidy things up with crossfades and fades on the end as well. So what have we got now? So we've got a few more to do there. So you can hear the difference between what we had before and what we have now. So, and I can show you that very quickly by, let's go back to our section here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this track. And what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to delete what we did before. And in Cubase, because the audio is never removed, I can just drag that back and we have our original here. And I'm just going to switch between the two. All right, so let's start with our original, which is the bottom one here. And this is what we had. And now we have so let's play that bit as well. So you can hear there how much more professional that sounds. So let's do that again one more time, just this section here. And our fixed up. So that is way, way better. And that's just what I'm saying. These ones are very obvious timing issues, okay? Some of these fast ones here, so when we're looking at this section here, okay, they're not perfect, they're not on beat, they're not always matching with the bass, but we've got some feel there, we've got some individualism for whoever's playing that instrument, okay, their feel for approach to the song, which is fine because it's done at a faster pace. It's not an obvious beat as such, so you can be more tolerant with that. With these ones here, where we are actually hitting notes and you can hear that they should be on time, then it is definitely highlighted when they're not. Okay, so we can do that with any instrumentation at all right? If we have drums that are slightly out, we want to edit those, then we can do that as well. You know, we're not limited to any particular instrument. We can even do it with vocals, all right? You might find that a vocalist just doesn't hit the note in the right spot. Chop that note up, okay? Chop the start of the note, end of the note, and just shuffle it, just move it, nudge it, whatever you want to call it, into the appropriate spot and get things tighter. But as I said, don't go down the rabbit hole and start robotically fixing every single little item. Concentrate on the big wins, concentrate on the obvious stuff, and just see what really annoys you when you take your mix out to the car. If there's something that bugs you, something that continuously annoys you by the noise, the bad timing, that's what you want to fix. If it doesn't bug you, doesn't annoy you, and it just sounds like a good song, then that's all you need to do. You don't need to fix every single timing issue. So there you go. That is fixing timing issues in your mix. Let me know what you think of what I've done here. Does it make sense? Do you have any questions about it? Is there something that you do in your sessions? Do you prefer to do that? Or, are you a real stickler for going back to re-recording everything and not editing things after they're re-recorded? So let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinions. And, if you do have any questions, I'd love to help wherever I can. Again, if you like what you see here, please click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos. Your support is greatly appreciated. Hopefully the video has been helpful. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.